Hi everyone, so welcome back to our YouTube channel and let's start with the 13th video of our Leetcode 75 days playlist, and today's question is maximum number of k-sum pairs. So it is an important question from the interview perspective and have been asked in multiple companies during their interviews. So let's just start with a problem statement. We are given integer array nums and integer k, and in one operation we can pick any two numbers from the array whose sum equals to k, and we have to remove them from the array. And now we have to return maximum number of operations we can perform on this array. Okay, so we are given this input nums and k 1, 2, 3, 4, and k is 5. So if you can see 1 plus 4 is 5, so this is one operation, and 2 plus 3 is also 5, so this is second operation. So yeah, so let's just start with the building our intuition first to get on the solution part. Okay, so this is we have given nums and this is k. Okay, so the basic approach that first we can think of, if first we can go on 3, first we can pick 3. Okay, now we'll check for every other part of the array if 3 plus any of these elements can give us k. Okay, so that this 3 plus 3 is 6. Okay, so we'll do 3, remove them. Okay, after that we will go to 1 and we will check for this part of the array 4 and 3 if 1 plus any of them is 6. No. Okay, then we will go to 4, then we'll go to 3. Similarly we can go on the this part. So this approach is a basic approach. Okay, so let's just say it as approach 1. So in this approach what we are doing, so we'll pick one and go over the other part of the array. So for this, let's just try to write the pseudo code. Okay, this is a basic approach. So we'll use one for loop. Let's just say int I equals to 0, int I less than n, I plus plus. Okay, this is for going picking up the first element. Now we will take this element int val, or do not pick any, it's your choice, it doesn't matter. Okay, now we'll go for int j equals to I plus 1, because we don't have to go on this element again, so it will be I plus 1, j is also less than n, j plus plus. Okay, so now what we'll check, if val plus nums of j is equals to k. If this is yes, then we will maintain our count. We will increment our count here. Now what we have to do, because if this is done and this is also, now we have to remove, and from array we cannot directly remove. So what we'll do, we will mark these at -1. So we will mark nums of I as -1 and nums of j as -1. Okay, we got our answer. So since we are using these two for loops, so the time complexity in this case will be big of n square. I think this is a pretty simple approach that one can use, and space complexity will be big of n. And if we try to give this solution to the interviewer will not be happy and will ask you to optimize this solution. So what in the next part what we can do, let's just go for the approach second. Okay, let's just try to understand again. 3 1 3 4 3 and k is 6. So like in the question we need to like remove get two elements whose sum is equals to k. Okay, so what if we can like do some sorting, because to improve this n square, the lower time complexity is first big log of n log n, and then n. So if you can try to use this approach, what is a like first approach that we can think of? It is sorting, right? So let's just try do that approach. If we can find a solution, yeah. So after sorting, it will be 1 3 3 3 and 4. Okay, we will get that this array. Now k is 6. Okay, k is 6. So now if you see, 1 plus 4 is not equals to 6. 3 plus 3 is 6. Yeah, this is so if we have two pointers, one is here and one is here. Now, if we try to sum these up, 1 plus 4, 1 plus 4 is equals to 5, which is less than 6. That means that if we try to add these elements, we will get less than k. So how we will move our index, because this is the least one and this is the bigger one. We cannot move after this, so we'll move this so that we can get some better value to get our answer. So we will move here. Now we get our 3. 3 plus 4 is equals to 7, which is greater than 6. So we find something that is greater than 6. So in that case, what we'll do, we will try to reduce our sum. So we will move from here. Yeah. So now we have this 3. So now we'll check. 3 plus 3 is equals to 6. Yeah, we got a one of our solution. So we will update our count. We will maintain our count, which is earlier 0. Now it is 1. And since we have to mark both of them deleted, we will move our indexes to, like, since this is left, we'll update it, increase it, and this is right, we will decrease it. Now we both have here, and this is only one. So whenever left, we will try to check if this is equals to our sum. Okay, this is not equals to our sum. We will just go here and here, and we will have condition left is less than right. Okay, so it will also like check for this case. We don't have to check for this. So yeah, so this is a two pointer approach with a sorting. So this is two pointer plus sorting. So in this case, the time complexity is big of NLogN plus, since we are doing this two pointer approach, this one, so it will be big of n. Overall, it will be big of NLogN. Okay, and space complexity will be big of 1, since we are just using variables. Okay, so let's just have a pseudocode for it. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so pseudocode will be, so let's just sort the array nums dot end. Okay, so this we have done the sorting. Int left 0 and right will be at n minus 1. Okay, and we will have one counter to get the count of numbers. So it is while left is less than right. Okay, till they don't meet. Okay, now we will check if left. Okay, if left, oh sorry, okay, if nums of left plus nums of right is equal to k. Okay, that means we have found our solution. So what we'll do, we will move left forward and right backward. Okay, and update our count. That is main thing. Okay, now if we don't have this, else if, now there are two things only, nums of left plus nums of right will be either be less than k or greater than k. So if it is less than k, now it means that we have to uh, update our solution to increase it. So we will do left plus plus to get bigger value. Else it will be smaller. So we will do right minus minus. Okay. So I think we are clear on this approach. Okay. And now after that we will return our count. I think we are pretty much clear on this approach and we have discussed the time complexity. So now also, since time complexity is n log n, interviewer will again ask you to improvise on this approach, this time complexity. So what we can now do, there's we can try to like again like optimize this solution. That will be our third approach. Till now we have done two approaches. First is brute force and second is two pointer plus sorting. So now this is third one. So this is basic approach of two sum question. Okay, two sum, that is first question of lead code. Okay, so what we do in that solution? So let's just say we have our nums array 3, 1, 3, 4, 3 and k is 6. Okay, now what we have to do, if we find basically if we can store this 3 in some data structure, and if we know that this 3 is in this nums array 3 times and we have this k. Okay, so 3 plus 3 is 6. So if we can, 3 is 3 times, 1 is 1 time, 4 is 1 time. So if we have this 3, we can check if we have k6, 6 minus 3 is also present in that data structure. Let's just say this is any data structure. If we have this 3, we can check if 6 minus 3 is also 3. We have one more 3 in this data structure, so that we can get one pair, right? We need to find a pair in this data structure. Okay, so let's just take another example to better understand. This is a duplicate one. We can take one other example, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and k is 5. So we can have data structure which will maintain the frequency of these variable numbers. So 1 is 1 time, 2 is 1 time, 3 is 1 time, 4 is 1 time. So if we go first to this, we have our 1. So we will check if 5 minus 1, that is 4. We have 4 in this data structure, right? So we have found one pair, that is this and this, right? So we will now update the frequency to 0, 0, and we will update our count to 1. Again, we will go to 2, 2. So 5 minus 2 is 3. We will check if we have 3. Yes. So we will update both of them 1, 1 frequency minus and update our count to 2. So minus 1 is 0, minus 1 is 0. Okay, we will go to 3. 3 is 5 minus 3 is 2. Okay, 2 frequency is 0, so we cannot use this. Again, we will go to 4. We will check if 5 minus 4 is 1 and 1 frequency is 0, so we cannot use this because we have used it earlier. So the count is 2. Yeah, that is the solution of all this. So to maintain this frequency, we have a data structure in uh, our languages, that is map. Okay, that is map of integer and integer type. Okay, we can store the number with their frequency. This will store the number, this will store the frequency. Okay, in C++ we usually use unordered map that uses big of 1 time complexity, and similarly in Java we have hash map we can use. So we will use this map. Okay, so let's just try to write a pseudocode to better understand this approach. Okay, so what we have now is basically this unordered map of integer type. Okay, now we have our count also to update, right? So now we will go to all the values in this array I plus plus. So what first we do, we will check if map, that is mp or say m, map of k minus this nums of I. Okay, Okay. Yeah. If we have map of k minus nums of I is greater than 0, that means we can use it. So what we'll do? We will do a update of our count. That is count, not result. Yeah. Now, since this value is already present in the map, we will subtract it. Map of k minus nums of I minus minus. Okay. Because this is the approach that we have discussed. Else, if it is frequency is not greater than 0, then what we'll do? We will update the frequency of this value. Okay. Right. So let's just have a try run over this approach. So we have this nums array 1, 2, 3, 4 and k is 5. Okay. So first one will come. Okay. One will come. We'll check. This is our map. Okay. One map of 1 is greater than 0. We don't have any map. So this is a basic thing in the data structure. So if no value is added in the map, the frequency is already 0. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. The frequency of them is already 0 in the map. Okay, so it will give 0. So since this is not greater than 0, it will go to else approach and it will add 1. Okay, now this 1, this 0 will become 1. Again it will come to 2. It will find k minus 2, that is 6, 5 minus 2 is 3. 3's frequency is 0. So it will do map of nums of I, increase the frequency. So now 2's frequency is increased. Okay. Now it will come to 3. So map of k minus nums of I, 5 minus 3 is 2. Now it will check map of 2 is greater than 0. Yes, it is greater than 0. Now it will update the count and decrease this 2 count 2's frequency to 1. So now this 1 will become 0. Okay. Again it will come to 4. Now 5 minus 4 is 1. It will come to 1, check its frequency is greater than 0. Yes. Now it will update the count. Count is now 2. Okay, because it was updated at this point and this point, and it will decrease the frequency. Since we go out of the loop, so I have our count to 2, we will return our count. Yeah, so I think the approach is pretty much clear. Time complexity in this case will be big of n, since we are just iterating over the array and this is taking big of one time, we are assuming, and space complexity in this is big of 1, since we are just no sorry, so space complexity is big of n, since we are using an extra space, this map, which will store our frequency. Okay. Yeah, I think we are good with the approaches. Now we will go to the coding part to better understand the approach. Okay, so now we will start writing the two approaches. First will be the sorting one and second will be the this map one. Okay, in 10 numsort size. Okay, and now we will go. First we have to do sorting. So there's already a sort function predefined. So we'll use that sort nums dot, and this is done. Now we will do left to 0 and right to n minus 1. And while left is less than right, we will check if nums of left plus nums of right is equals to k. We have found our solution. So we will need to have one count, which is 0. So we'll update our count. Now we'll go left plus plus and right minus minus. So update the left and update the right both. If we don't have find our solution, now what we'll do? We will check if nums of left plus nums of right is less than k. That means this sum is less than k. We have to increase the sum. So we'll update our left to right. Okay. Now, if the sum is greater than k, that means we have to decrease our sum. So we will have to decrease our right value. So we'll do that. Once this all is done, we will return our count, which will have all of our answers. So I think this is very good. We will try to do this, submit. Yeah, it is working for this. Let's just try to have run all the example test cases. It is working fine for all of them. Let's just try to submit it. Yeah, it is submitted successfully. So now we will go for the map one approach. Okay. So as we have discussed, we will use map of int to int that will store the number with its frequency. We'll make it map. Okay. Now we will have our size first also. Nums dot size. Okay. So we'll go also for count. Yeah. Now we'll go I 0 till I, then in I plus plus. Okay. Now we'll check if map of k minus nums of I. If the frequency of this is greater than 0, that means that it is already present in the map. Now we have to update our count, okay, and decrease the frequency of that number so that we can use it in the future. We cannot use that frequency, we can use another. Okay, so decrease the frequency. Okay, else since we cannot find that number frequency, we will update the current number frequency. So it is map of nums of I plus plus, so that we can use it in the future if some k nums of I present is in that array. So we'll come out of the loop, we will check, we will return our answer right directly, right? Okay, so let's just try to run it for all example test cases. Yeah, it is working fine for all of them. Let's just try to submit it. Yeah, it is working fine for all of the test cases. Yeah, since the running time is greater because we are using map, which sometimes use big of login complexity to find. Yeah. So thanks everyone for watching. In case you do like this video, please do subscribe our channel. I will be completing this Leetcode 75 days playlist in the future. Try to stay with me and we'll complete it together. Yeah. Thanks everyone.